So this video talks about exits, project exits for street outreach providers. An individual will be exited from a street outreach project when a few different things happen. One, the person moves into a permanent housing situation. So maybe they've located a rental, they've obtained income, or they move into a rapid rehousing or permanent supportive housing project. Number two, they move or they agree to move into or accept a placement at an emergency shelter or a transitional housing project. So the street outreach provider would exit them because now they are in a temporary living situation and they no longer need a street outreach provider's services. The third reason a person would exit from street outreach is if the street outreach provider did not have contact with them for a period of 30 days and they cannot locate the individual or family. So they're going to close them out of their project as an unknown destination type. It's also important to note that street outreach providers, if it's in the best interests of the client, just to do a safe handoff when leaving the street outreach provider's care, because they have developed a level of engagement and a relationship, it may be helpful for the street outreach provider to leave them open for a short period of time while the client is engaging in the shelter services, transitional housing, or other permanent housing provider services. So those two project types, entries and exits, can have some overlap if the client needs a little extra support during that the transition time. So when a street outreach project or provider identifies that a client needs to be exited, they will go into the client's module and go to the entry exit tab. You will click on the pencil next to where it says exit date. The exit date can be adjusted or added based upon when the client left the project, or maybe when they moved into shelter or when they moved into permanent housing. You're going to put the reason for leaving. So if they completed the program, or maybe if you don't know, so maybe the person had disappeared, you haven't had contact with them for 30 days, so you're discharging them because they have an unknown destination, you can't seem to locate them. So in that case, it'd be unknown disappeared, and the destination for that type of exit, or if a client disappeared and you just don't know, would be no exit interview completed. Once those are selected, you can click Save and Continue. When you're filling out the exit assessment, make sure to update any information that you know has changed. If nothing has changed on this, and you're just exiting the client because they left and you haven't been able to locate them, you can just scroll to the bottom and save and exit. Again, changing any information along the way. So once you save and exit, then you'll have an exit date added for this specific client, and your time with the client in Service Point is done. And that concludes today's training.